welcome to our mentorship program launch. Parks are working in the background really hard on getting this ready. So it's an exciting day. I had some champagne. I will be popping bottles right now or some confetti, but I'll let Tarek take it away. He's our VP of Mentorship.
Well, thank you very much. I truly appreciate everybody joining in. I'm excited about it. Like Derek said, we've been working on it for some time, trying to refine it, connect with a lot of mentors, and also understand their availability and what they can commit to and how to build a program. I think one of the basic things that we wanted to also bring to the a lot of the folks come with a very strong background in IT or cybersecurity, and then transitioning into the compliance space is easy, but at the same time, we have to kind of change the mindset and the frame of mind as to what is compliance is and how is it different, right? I mean, I always tell people you're stepping into the role of becoming a hall monitor really and making sure there's accountability and everybody's following the rules. When you're in the cybersecurity, you're so focused on making sure people are doing certain things and you're making sure the systems are secure, information is secure, all these things. So whereas the compliance part comes into play, you're overseeing more and more of technical, non-technical process, are we following, and all those things. So just to kind of give you a quick overview of how the transition is and what that would look like. Really, I think we have, and I'm trying to go through the screen here and everybody that's attended, wanted to make sure that I have everybody on the list. If you have reached out, if it's not on my spreadsheet, I'd like you to just send me an email. I think I might just put my email address here so you guys have it to reach me. Okay, there's my email if you need to connect with me.
And Tarek, as of today, how many assigned mentors do you have to mentees?
Pull that up. And I think the interesting part, like you mentioned earlier, was we have quite a few people who want to be both because they're wanting to step into the role and try to see how this is going to work and what that's going to look like. And the individuals that I have as mentees, so far, I have a total of 11 that I have registered with them, have everybody's contact information and the pathway that they have selected that they want to go. As far as the mentors part go, I think, again, like I said, there's multiple who want to do both, and they have different pathways because I think that's where they're playing the role of saying, let me understand this part. I like this. I want to do both. I want to do first understand this and then become a mentor. With that in mind, I think we have roughly about 16, 17 altogether on the mentor side, and which has some that are both mentors and mentees, depending on the pathways that they're looking at. Were you saying something?
Yeah, I was saying that's great. At this point, we have more mentors and looking mentees, but I know we have roughly around 56 professional and founding members total. So I anticipate that number is going to increase now that we've officially launched the program. If you all haven't already provided your responses to the welcome email that you receive, then just make sure you do that so we know whether you are planning on you want to be assigned a mentor or you want to be a mentee or you're looking for both. And make sure you don't have to have cybersecurity or CMMC expertise to be a mentor. As long as you have cybersecurity expertise, you've been in this career field longer than a day, then you can provide value to someone that's brand new. We have a lot of members who have transitioned from other career fields and are brand new to cybersecurity. Pay it forward.
Yep. And I think so, jumping in a little bit more into it, you have one, I'm trying to see if I can grab my PowerPoint real quick to share with you guys as to what the goals are, purposes. Give me 1 second. Let me get that screen ready. We also have a couple of ideas as well with that in mind, and happy to get some more feedback because we have one program for mentor mentee that works with somebody that is transitioning from IT or non-IT background into the compliance, and how would we do this? And then you have folks that are CCPs or CCAs, and they have got their certifications, and now they're going, okay, what's next? What do I do? Do I want to become a consultant? Do I want to do just 1099 work? How do I connect with CPPAOs and say, hey, I'm done. I have my tier 3 background done. So we have that really guidance. I don't want to really call it and put it in a box of mentorship there, but it could be a one-on-one call to understand what your next steps could be as a professional. Do you want to stay in it? And that's more of a career advice. And the mentorship one is more of how to get into the field. The second one is what happens after that? What's next? Okay, I got my education, I have my C3P. What do I do next? And this is the other side of it, is let's connect with some of the experienced folks who wants to go that route. Of what's my next step in the career. With that in mind, the other ones is some folks are daring and wants to jump into starting your own consulting firm. So we have a little bit of that guidance. I think we'll start working because we have some of the individuals who have been business owners and have been entrepreneurs that can provide that guidance as well. So we have a mix of all these things coming together as a resource for everybody here that we can provide to the individuals that are interested in the pathway that you guys want to jump in and start. With that in mind, really I don't know, I guess if I could take a quick poll or get an answer on how many people or members that we have here. Like I said, I'm still trying to get everybody's names that are signed in, are looking into being the very early stages of transitioning into becoming coming into the CMMC field real quick.
I'll put up a poll and you pull up your PowerPoint. I'll launch that poll.
Okay, Maria, go ahead. I think you just raised your hand there.
That was actually me voting.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, all right. Let's see.
Actually, I'll do it by years of experience. Do you have the ability to share?
I should, yeah. I think that's what I was looking at. I think one of the, yep, there we go. Okay, so real quick, here we go. And screen share. There we go. Okay, now you should see the screen here. Let me know.
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. By the way, I do need, I was going to ask you, Derek, I forgot yesterday, did you have a template for presentations? I had to make my own as far as the CPN one. I don't know if you have.
Looks good. Yeah, I'll share that with you.
Yep, work in progress. Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and launch that poll real quick. Feel years of experience represented on this meeting.
Now, so with that, like I said, the idea behind this is really to get you guys understand what the purpose of it is, to really provide individuals with little to no experience in the CMMC field and provide some kind of a guidance. And as you know, we have a pathway for the mentorship. We also have a pathway with the Kia that's going to do more on the training side of things. So you're kind of coming in together on a very structured way as to how do you get into this field and really understand the principles, requirements, applications, things of that nature to really come in and have that guidance that sometimes you wish you did when you're starting a career. So that's really the main purpose of this, and trying to work through that and provide that information and guidance that you need. Really, the goal of is to really demystify this CMMC framework, because there's so much. First, there's so much information. Second, we have some experts that you can sit and watch a lot of videos that are so immersed into it, and they throw so much language and lingo in it. It may be difficult for you to really process that information. So the idea for us with the CPN, the goal was to first demystify it, break it down as to what does that really mean? How does that it is? Because sometimes this is such a I shouldn't say complex, but it is such an in-depth compliance program. It's very easy to get lost in the weeds. So the goal here really was to kind of come together and make it simple, make it easy for you to understand and follow. And really with our track that is dealing with the training program, create a solid foundation. Where do you start? How do you start? Have open discussion and dialogue. The amazing part, truly, I think we have here that we were able to provide is you have some experienced folks who were in the audit world, transitioning into becoming assessors in the CMMC that can provide the guidance. And really people coming from all the backgrounds can provide a strong foundation sometimes that we wish when we started the careers we had that. So that's really the goal and of this purposes is really, and as you're going through, there might be some things that you might feel very comfortable. You might have a very strong technical background, but you may not have a good or it's just not your comfort zone where you're able to build the documentation, build the process and the policies and things of that nature. So really the goal is for you to have a solid foundation. And then when you're having conversation with a potential client or somebody that you need to, you're able to navigate. If you're struggling with that part, absolutely, that's where you have the mentors that you have post the questions in our group, in the LinkedIn group, where we are able to help each other and build that. So really, this is kind of the goals of this whole program, is really get you a strong start into the program and not deal with the frustrations that you may come across, that you may have, and have those things where you may have started a career field where you jump in and says, oh, I wish, this is so frustrating, I'm going to leave. It happens, and it has happened to a lot of people in various goals. So the goal is really, this is an amazing field. Honestly, I love it. This whole process of it, big advocate. So we really want to make sure we have a good transition for folks that are coming in. And with that in mind, what does that really, from the mentorship side, what is the activities that we would really want to see happen? First thing first, we would like you to have one-on-one meetings with your mentor and mentee, connect with them, with each other, review some of the materials that you're learning. It could be the learning track that you're in, or if you're watching the videos, there's so much content, there's so many other people out there that are putting out the content. Review that and bring those questions to the discussion. Write it out and make sure you have a solid research in the questions, and make that time worth with your mentor, because everybody's doing it out of the goodness of their heart and dedicating and giving it the time. So make sure it is something of value that both people are getting out of it, instead of just getting together for an hour, 2 hours that doesn't really get to where you need to. So really, as you're learning through it, come with questions all the time and pose the questions to the mentors that you have. And this, by far, the real world examples is what the mentors can bring in, and the mentees, as you're having conversations with your managers or the senior leadership. That is something that you could bring in for these conversations. And that is really what builds a strong foundation for you to build on it and have that. And I think if you have or have not seen some of the activities, one of the big ones that we have done for the last 6-8 months has been the mock assessments, for you to understand the scenarios, right? So the more you're involved, the more you're taking part into it, the more you're watching it, that builds onto your curiosity and finding that mentor who can answer and walk you through it. Obviously, from the mentor side is providing the guidance, navigating the resources, because there's so much information out there. Some of it is outdated. Some websites, some places, and if you're a big ChatGPT fan, you might be careful because their language models may or may not have the accurate information. So that is a critical piece that you want to make sure you lean onto your mentors or the more experienced folks in here to make sure the resources that you have, that you find, are good and something that can be validated. And I think as a part of the CPN members, as you become, we will be working towards providing some of those guides as well, and also provide you with some sort of templates and make sure you're able to perform if it is something that you're working on. I know on the learning tracks, the training parts, we have something with the Google Cloud, Office 365. There's some other ones that as we come along with it, those would be really something for you to process, build upon, practice. And what I love about our whole process here is, if you're starting out, you probably will be more involved into implementing. And you have somebody experienced like Derek here, right here, who is an assessor, who has been on the assessment. And I know we have James on here, Mark DeBrive, multiple of them who are doing assessments. You get a firsthand one-on-one conversations that you can have. And as you're transitioning into this field, you get to learn what is really happening. How do I do this? So I really love this part that we're doing for the mentorship and this part. So these are just the basic activities that we would like you to, as we pair you up, to build upon and work through it. Some of the other quick expectations on the mentee side is, as we are planning on mock assessment, we want you to join in, watch that, and also be an organization representing the organization, so you get a good experience. As a mentee, you can make the mock assessment, answer the questions the way you want to, and you can figure out or have that discussion, understanding what is it. So joining the mock assessments, if you haven't, absolutely, I think take opportunity for that. I think we have some recorded sessions, and watch those and learn from it as well. And the reason I'm, again, being biased a little bit on CPN is because we have done quite a few and we have had experienced folks being the assessor or the representative of the organization that we were able to provide some things that we have seen in the live assessments in actual life, real life scenarios. With that in mind, if you are part of the education track that you're enrolled in, make use of it, join those and really add more to your knowledge. With keeping in mind that everybody's time is valuable, we want to really have you guys work with the mentors, set up at least one call a month, spend some time, 1 or 2 hours, depending on the mentor's availability. If you can do every 2 weeks, great, but we will leave that up to you between you two as to how much time both of you can dedicate. And the idea is after that, we as a mentor and mentee group, we will have a call once a month that we would like you to join. Talk through that process, have those discussions and train each other, help each other out, and really make it a ecosystem that people want to make use of and really bring that strong foundation and a successful career moving forward. But that's on the overall, real quick, wanted to go over these mentorship activities and some of the expectations that we wanted to work with. And I think that's, for the most part, that I had to cover as far as that goes.
Yeah. Good highlights. And Tark, sort of want to piggyback on what you mentioned in terms for the mentee. It's important to understand that you have expectations. That the mentor is going to have expectations of you, that you're going to show up to those mentoring sessions. You're going to have your questions ready. It's not just a session to talk about sports or the gossip. You're trying to get career guidance. And we have really experienced mentors. We have several mentors who are already been on assessment teams. We have CPOs, we have business owners. So you really want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your experience as that mentee. And then in addition, I put the link to the chat to the recorded mock assessments that we've done so far that Tarek referenced. So you can look at those. Within your tracks for CMMC tracks, you will be doing a mock assessment at the end of that track. So think of that as like your capstone project. So far, the Google Workspace track has launched, and the other tracks should be launching within the next 1 or 2 weeks. As professional founding members, you can complete multiple tracks, or at least you can attend the training for multiple tracks. It's up to you. And then if you're one of the community members, you're not on a paid membership, you will still get access to the recordings from those live training sessions. And then Tark, if you can speak to the monthly mentoring session, like the group mentoring session plan on hosting.
Correct. So with that in mind, I think the goal is, now that we have launched, today is June 12th. So the idea would be, maybe if it falls on it, maybe pick a Thursday, because we have most of our mock assessments that we do is on a Thursday. So the idea is maybe we could pick Thursday 15th or second week of the month or third week of the month as a group call like this that we're having. The idea also, just to give you an idea, I know this is only 20 minutes into it, I wanted to have just a short presentation, but interaction with everybody else as well in here. So, but what we would do is, as we have everybody that's joined in, and please share your emails if you're not on it, register. And what we'll do is we'll set up a monthly mentorship calls. And in this calls, what the goal really would be is, are you on a track? Are you not? Which one would you like? Are you seeing it? What are some things that you're, the discussion points? I think we'll have an agenda for it, but just to give you an idea, we want this to be more interactive at that point. And you could learn from your mentor, may or may not be in it, but you could get something from the other mentors and mentees, right? Again, we want this to be more interactive. And as much as you really, as you've heard this before, you get what you put in, right? And we really want this to be something because the need is out there. So we will do a monthly call with everybody that's involved. We'll do emails that will be sent out through constant contacts for you guys to join in. That way, it's not getting lost into and getting into spam, and joining on these monthly calls. The goal would be really, I'll send the agenda out ahead of time, but just to highlight, what do you want to see, what's working, what's not working, how can we improve overall as a CPN members, and as we're doing the leadership part of it, and how do you want to see this change or not change? What do you want to see happen? And what have you learned from your mentors? And then the other part, from the mentors, we want to understand, what would you like to see from the mentees? Should we ask more questions? What is the other things that we're working? So just bear in mind, again, this is something that we have launched and working through these things. We'll work through that and then really bring to perfection. We just didn't want to refine it so much that we're losing time. We wanted to get started, get people connected, and get something on this part, and have you guys get a strong foundation going, at least understand what is required within the CMMC, what is a pathway even to getting into this part of CMMC, then education track, what should it be if you're leaning strong into the technical side, what skill sets that you want to learn. So with that in mind, really the monthly calls, I would like to put it right about the second or third week, Thursday of the month. But I'll schedule that based on when we have our mock assessments. I'll double check that calendar and we'll do that. And then I'll send the agenda out ahead of time to discuss that. And again, those would be more of an open discussion. We may have one or two mentors talk a little bit about certain topics that we may have. And then if mentees are comfortable, we want you to take part and have that discussion, almost like a roundtable, but not quite. But that's really the goal of the monthly calls, that we will say, what did we learn? What do we want to improve upon? How can we make it better? Really is the goal for that. I believe one of the other things we have planned is a monthly roundtable as well. Again, all the things that we're doing as a CPN is to provide resources, is to provide the education, is really to provide you a place where you can join in, ask questions, clarify, cut through all the, nonsense or people claiming certain things, and really make sure the solutions that are out there are working. What should it be? So our goal is really to be a resource for everyone, not just, I don't want it to make it sound like the mentors or the CCAs and CCPs have the upper hand. I think it's a learning opportunity for each other. Everybody brings a perspective from a different way, and that's really the idea and the goal that we have behind it. And in the monthly calls, that's kind of the idea, is we'll select a topic to talk about a little bit, discussions from the mentor side, mentee side, and then open for the floor for more conversations on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And those who don't know, CPN is a nonprofit and we are vendor neutral. So to Tarik's point, with our CMMC roundtables, we initially started off doing them weekly. Now Mark DeBry is going to lead that initiative. He's committed to doing it bi-weekly, and he's going to be identifying various vendors and other people who provide CMMC resources to just come and present and share how their resources can potentially help your company or your customers, just to better educate our community. But CPN is not going to be in line specifically to any vendor. We welcome anyone who can come and educate our members and provide resources and value. Certainly, we know there's a lot of misinformation out in the CMMC ecosystem, a lot of confusing information. So we want to play a key role in providing information that's accurate, timely, and relevant to our community.
I think with that in mind, I do want to open up the floor to anyone that want to jump in and ask any questions and clarify. Like I said, we've been working on it, but we wanted to make it rather simple, not too complicated. Sometimes, you're trying to refine it so much, you miss the point. So it's a collaborative effort from everyone. And as we've mentioned earlier, it's a nonprofit. Most of the people are just volunteers helping out. Would love everybody's input, make it valuable for all of us in here.
And emphasize that enough. We're all volunteers, and like Tarik mentioned, we're basically focusing on continuous improvement. And this is none of our expertise. We just saw a gap in the ecosystem and trying to fill that gap to the best of our ability. So this organization is driven by volunteers who have a heart for service, who are committed to professional development. Everyone on this call and everyone in the community brings something to the table, and something that they can help really make our community even stronger. Give take, absolutely. So Tarik mentioned open it up to anyone has questions, comments. I know we have several mentors who have already committed on the call as well. Some advisors for the different tracks. So share your insights. We're all ears. Peter, since you're on camera, I'll say hello and see if you have anything you want to add.
You're on mute, Peter.
Sorry, I joined a little bit late.
No problem. Better late than never. Right on time. Another thing I want to mention is, as mentors, we're all busy, but you also can commit to having multiple mentees. Myself, I think I'm assigning 3 or 4 mentees. I just really have a passion for mentoring. It played a huge role in my life as far as helping me accelerate my career path. So I'm always happy to mentor. I'm sorry, 3 or 4. If you have the bandwidth, and the minimum commitment we're asking is you meet with your mentee at least once a month for up to an hour to It'll be your live meeting, whether that's Zoom, whatever platform, a call, whatever works for you and your mentee, but just that resource for them. There's just so many people out there who are either new to CMMC, cybersecurity, or even they may have already been in cybersecurity for a long time, but they're feeling stuck in their career. As Tarek mentioned, in our community, we have lots of entrepreneurs. We have a lot of successful cybersecurity professionals with extensive experience. We want them to be able to share that to accelerate your career path. We're going to be starting a monthly, it's like kind of newsletter, impact report, just highlighting. We already have a lot of success stories within CPN community. Several members who have leveraged their membership for paid consulting opportunities, several members who have leveraged the training for and passed their CCP, CCA, lots of different collaborations and networking has been happening. Just highly encourage you all to just be engaged, how you can get the most out of this. As Tarek mentioned, you're going to get out what you put in.
I know I've had conversations with a few of the individuals that are joined, and I know they're looking forward to being a mentor and also be a mentee on various different fields. Like I said, we all bring in certain value and the experience that we have that we can learn from each other. And I'll tell you personally, my weakness, I should say, is trying to get too in-depth and be technical. That's just not my strongest suit. But I can simplify it when I'm having conversations with the management or the decision makers. I can simplify it, make it relatable without getting too technical, just because I'm not the best in getting to the deep dive and trying to really explain to the executives. I try to avoid getting that. So in avoiding getting too technical and having that bridge for the conversation and simplifying it, I kind of gave up getting too deep into the technical side. But what that does has helped me personally, and this is something that I learned from a good friend of mine, was really making it relatable. Don't get too technical. One of the big things I know that you're also a big fan of is Toastmasters. Go be part of it. One of what this really helps in, not just, everybody has this idea that Toastmasters is about speeches. It's not. It helps you improve just the communication. It just helps how to articulate. It helps that conversation. How do you drive it? How do you present that information? So if you have not thought about it, not looked at it, I would highly encourage becoming a part of Toastmasters as well. That helps the communication. And I think in our field, by default, I think be it technical, IT professionals, compliance professionals, the thing that we are faced more of is trying to go and have the conversation with the C-suite and justifying why we're doing what we're doing and having the budget allocations, right? That is also a skill that I would highly recommend. Figure out how to do the presentations, how to make it relatable, how to cut down on the jargon. And so those are also really good skills that you will need, especially if you're getting into the consulting side, or even if you're not getting into the consulting side. That is something that I would like you to think about as mentors and mentees, saying, where can I improve? Compliance is complex to begin with. 2 weeks ago, I did a presentation on one of our clients. Their supply chain wanted to know, how does it affect me for the supply chain? And they had a team, a fairly big organization. They had just the management team was 10 in the supply chain. So I took it down, I broke it down. What does the 70-12 requirements are? Paragraph M is what they should be worried about, kind of breaking it down. So that if you are able to work on and improve even in that part of it, it goes a long ways. It helps the cause. It helps you bring the whole organization and make it a compliance culture in that organization. You could take it as, don't sit in a silo of I'm a compliance officer or I'm a security person. So as you're thinking about what things that I need to learn, I would highly recommend make the communication piece as one of the important and critical pieces. Have those conversations with the mentors, and mentors have the conversations with mentees, saying this worked or this did not work. This is what I get a pushback on. How do I solve these problems? So don't just think in this program you're only talking about CMMC, but I want you to think about how you can move forward on the profession part. How do you engage with the client? How do you give reports of the progress? Things of that nature become critical that can either make you successful or leave you frustrated with this as well. So again, some ideas on things to think about. If you're coming from a technical background, that's our comfort zone. But I want you to come out of that comfort zone a little bit, because now you have to provide updates of the projects. How is the CMMC implementation going? Or if you're doing assessments, how's that going? How do you provide the report. So, but I know I've been speaking for some time. I'll take a pause if others want to jump in.
Well, some good points. Absolutely. And when you think about, especially with CMMC, it's a different language. And a lot of times your clients that you're supporting, those small businesses, they don't speak that language. Don't know what CMMC is. So you're going to have to be able to translate that into plain English. You're just not going to connect with them. You're going to lose them. So you want to be able to start practicing that. And part of what CPN as community is, we want to make sure that we are fostering a safe environment where you can train and learn and hone your skills in a safe environment where you're not going to be judged or criticized or anything like that. We're all here to learn together. And that's why we're a big fan of the mock assessments. And that's why we incorporated that into the tracks to be a mandatory requirement. Because if you're in CMMC, whether you're on the readiness side or the assessor side, I want to do both. You need to start developing those skills. And I've done lots of, probably at this point, probably hundreds of assessments, but I just did my first CMMC assessment 2 months ago. And I was nervous. It's a high stake assessment. It's a lot on the line. And as an assessor, I was nervous. Like, am I asking all questions? Am I gathering enough information? So if you're thinking you're just going to be able to take the exam and be ready for a game day, it doesn't work that way. You don't want to go in cold. You want to be able to start practicing your skills now in a safe environment, training environment. And Arnice, she participated in one of our mock assessments. The hardest part so far is remembering each control. It's a lot. So the more you do it, the more you practice, you want to be ready, whether you're on the OSC side, the organization seeking certification, or you're on the assessor side. You want to be able to give you all that experience in a safe environment. This was what month was the WSU, the CMMC Midwest Conference at TARC. I put on at Wichita State University. We were able to do a live mock assessment there, me and 3 other CPN members. Just practice those skills, just reading the requirements. You can read them all day, every day and not understand it, not know what it actually looks like. The more we demonstrate it.
David, looks like you have a question.
Hey, afternoon, Tarek and Dennis, and thanks so much for pulling this together. This may be a real basic question. Have the mentees already been assigned mentors, or after this kickoff, folks will start getting notifications on, okay, you are paired with this mentor, or this mentor is paired with this mentee? Has that already taken place, or is this like the kickoff for that to take place?
So on the spreadsheet, I have already kind of marked, paired up the mentors and mentees. I think early on when the information was sent, what track that they want to be, do they want to be, learning of the Google or AWS, Microsoft, we have that information. So done the pairing in the back. If you want to shoot me an email as to what you're looking for and who you want me to pair you up with, or somebody in the background. The goal that I have as the email that I sent in is I'm asking for, as soon as we're done with this, by the end of this week, you should receive an email, be it a mentee or a mentor. I'm going to ask you send me 2 or 3 lines about yourself. So then the introduction email that I would like to send is saying, hey, meet your mentee. This is what the background is. Hey, mentor, this is a kind of mentee. This is who you are mentored with, paired up with, and this is what they bring. I'll let you connect and then start building that. And then I will do the touch bases with the mentors and mentees monthly, making sure you're getting something out of it. Or if your mentor is too busy, let me know. We can kind of reassign kind of thing. So I'll do the touch points with you guys on both mentors and mentees, seeing how that's working and if I need to adjust or arrange or make modifications on it as well.
Okay.
And just confirm, Tarek, by Friday, you anticipate sending out the emails for the pairings to the mentor.
Yep. I'll have that done.
Yep. And yeah, Tarek, you'll provide to me and I'll send it out to be a constant contact, or it'll go out to.
Okay, I can do that.
And I'm sure to emphasize, so as far as the one-on-one pairings with the mentors, you will need to be either a professional member or a profounding member. So the professional membership is $99 per year. You sign up. I put the link in the chat for cmcpathways.org. So that's going to open up for you to be paired with one-on-one mentors. However, if you're part of the free membership community or the LinkedIn group, we will be hosting those open mentor calls once a month, but you won't have the one-on-one. And David, I know you're on that list. You're already paired.
And I think it's really, again, to think about it, it's less than $10 a month. I mean, something that we spend on coffees in 2 days is what that cost is for you to become the members. And again, not that we, as a nonprofit, we have certain expenses paying for the hosting, paying for this application and the software that we're using. And that's really what it is. There's nothing that we need to do to make money, get rich. I don't think there's, I think the profession itself, with the work that you do as you transition into this, I think that will pay for it. But as far as the CPN goes, the goal is really to pay for all the platforms that we're building, the training programs that we're able to build, record, and things like that. Some work that goes behind the scene that a lot of members may not see. And that's really what is paying. And 100% everybody's a volunteer on here anyway. We're not doing it to make money by any means. So I would highly encourage, just $100 is nothing really, to become members and get a true value out of what we have. And truly, I think, if I haven't even done this, but I can easily say we probably have 200-300 years of experience amongst everybody that is part of the CPN membership. The groups that we have, the individuals that have become members, and even non-paid members is what I'm referring to, is that become your resource. Everybody, I think, on average is between 10 to 15 years of experience is what we have. So you can imagine a couple hundred, it just takes 20 people to have that couple hundred years of experience that can be shared. Again, trying to promote it, but at the same time, just saying the value is a lot higher than $10 a month that you're about to get with this membership.
Absolutely. Like I said, we have overhead administration for the tools and resources to make sure that we're giving you the best value we can. But at this point, as a new nonprofit, we don't have any sponsors or grants or anything like that. That's going to come eventually. But right now, we're kind of bootstrapping it and member driven as far as volunteers and donations and the membership fees. Right. I think that may be all we have. If we don't have any other questions, comments, some time back. But as Tarek has committed, if you've already on his list, you've already provided responses to their welcome email. If you haven't seen a welcome email, certainly send Tarek and myself
Please do.
email. He already put his email in the chat. I'll put mine as well. But let us know, because that means if you haven't received a welcome email and you haven't responded to your welcome email, then
and it should be coming in from the CMMC pathways.org, just to kind of make sure that it may not end up into your spam. Add that domain so that it doesn't end up into your spam folder or be blocked by the filtering that you may have. Just something for you to keep in mind.
And then in addition, there's going to be so many different opportunities as far as potential paid opportunities on consulting with the various CPOs, business leaders in this community. It's going to be a community that really feeds each other. And also a lot of volunteer opportunities. For those who are maybe new to CMMC, new to this career field, we are currently in partnership with Dallas Independent School District. So I'm currently have interns, 5 or 6 high school interns for this summer that we're mentoring. And we're planning different other initiatives where CPN members can get involved, mentoring high school students, exposing them to cybersecurity, college students. Everyone's going to be able to leverage whatever you're bringing to the table to give back and make this impact even greater. Really excited about that. Some other initiatives we're planning in the future, have conferences for CPN, it's an annual conference. So at some point doing essentially like a CMMC pro bono clinic, where our members who are looking forward to getting hands-on experience can support those small businesses who can't afford, they need to be compliant with CMMC, but they can't afford it. So really making those connections and pairings, just making sure there's plenty of opportunities for people to get what they're aiming to get out of CPN and also give back at the same. And then as you all have ideas of other things, how we can expand our impact, all ears. Cool.
All right.
Thank you all for joining, and look forward to embarking on this journey with you all.
Yep. Appreciate you guys joining in. Thank you.